Now on HBO Max, the third Conjuring movie, The Devil Made Me Do It, tells the story of the Warrens as they called upon to help a little boy possessed by a demon. This demon goes on to affect the little boy's sister's boyfriend. The demon makes the boyfriend kill the girlfriend's dad. Arrested and waiting the trial, the Warrens are trying to prove that the murder was done under demonic possession. A guilty verdict will result in the death sentence of this child. The Warrens are racing against time to save the family and themselves from this demonic entity that was conjured by an evil witch as they prove to the court the devil does exist. The movie stars Patrick Wilson and Via Farmiga as Ed and Lorraine Warren, again reprising their role from the other Conjuring movies. But also starring in this movie is Wario O'Connor, Sarah Catherine Hook, Julian Hilliard, John Noble, and Eugenie Bondurant. The directing of this franchise is passed on to Michael Chaves, who previously directed The Curse of La Llorona. I did not see this movie because of the mixed reviews it received. I get scared very easily, so I tend not to see these horror movies unless they get amazing reviews or backed by previous source material that has given me great movies along the way. Like it, I see it. I see the second one. I seen the first one just because of the praise it got. Based on The Conjuring 3, I do not think I'll go back to watch his first film, The Curse of La Llorona, just because of how this one kind of played out for me and was kind of underwhelming. James Wan produces this film again as he has created excellent horror universes in his career. He is responsible for Saw, Insidious, and the Conjuring franchise. A lot of hype is behind all the horror movies he is producing and writing and directing. His storytelling gets audience members coming back for multiple sequels and spin-offs of his horror franchises. Once James Wan leaves the directing chair, though, the film goes down a tier from great to good, or even possibly bad or terrible, in my opinion. But the third installment in the Conjuring franchise is definitely a step down. The movie gets slow and uninteresting without many scares during the middle part of the movie. The beginning does set up the story nicely, and the end film brings the scares and uses cool camera tricks while we're stuck in the dark. But it's that middle part that kind of lulls a bit and just gets you uninvested and kind of just going through the motions and just waiting for the end climatic scene to happen. The movie ultimately falls flat while it has wasted great potential from the other previous two Conjuring movies. There's good scenes and then there's scenes you're wanting more from in this movie. If you saw the trailer of this movie, then you know the scene with the waterbed is teased that looks scary and intense. This scene was a big letdown for me though. It was bland and unused potential for scares. A lot more could have been done to get the good scare out of me and the audience members. A scene that was directed well, though, was when Lorraine entered the house's crawl space in search for a possessed item. I'm super claustrophobic, and I remember myself having to go down in my grandparents' crawl space to set mouse traps. I still get flashbacks anytime a movie involves a crawl space of me going down there myself and how scary and just tight and like close you are to everything and bending down, weird positions. They're extremely scary to me, these crawl spaces. And with them being closed in and hard to maneuver in, it just it sucks you in. But the scene made me question why the Warrens did not check under the house before the initial exorcist with the boy, which kind of takes away from the scene. And just it shouldn't be I shouldn't be thinking about that during the scene. I should just be focused into it, having it intense and just seeing what is she's gonna find in this crawl space. But although the story is slow at times, the special effects in this movie are great. The Warrens visit a morgue at a point during the movie, and we see a dead girl who drowned. All we see is her hand and her foot, and this is all we need to get our heart racing. The hand looks so real as it is slimy and decaying while slowly turning blue. And another special effect that was done well is the eyes of the person being possessed. The eyes turn an off white color with veins coming out of the pupils onto the face. It is extremely creepy looking and makes you scared. of the person and learning what will happen next or what would that person do next because of these weird, creepy, crazy eyes they have that look possessed. Compared to other horror movies, The Conjuring 3: The Devil Made Me Do It shows you that horror movies can be good while not solely relying on jump scares. I actually don't think there's one jump scare in this movie at all. The movie is trying to scare you with other tactics, like being based on a true story for starters. It gets you very questioning if what you're seeing actually happened, if it was real, it could happen to you because it happened to this family. It gets your mind thinking and overthinking of things and just getting your mind racing and thinking the worst case scenarios of what could happen to yourself because this happened before. I did enjoy watching this movie more than Spiral the Book from Saw last month. So I give Conjuring the Devil Made Me Do It a 62 out of 100. I'm still interested in seeing the franchise continue with other sequels and spin-offs. This movie should have been directed differently though, but the direction of the franchise is still positive for me. I like the way it's going, these like separate stories, one-offs. Uh, I do want to see more stories about the Warrens and how they're fighting these demonic entities. Thank you for watching, guys. Leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of the movie now on HBO Max for viewing.